Well, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the WWE Champion himself. Ricochet is in the building here tonight because it is a big evening for the Savior. Tonight he learns who he will face for the WWE Championship at Backlash. That is going to be a big ending to the show, and the Savior seems ready for whomever may come his way. But right now, we go towards the ring because it is time for the in-ring debut of one of SmackDown's newest signings. Welcome to the ball pit. Welcome to the world of Shotzi Blackheart. And what an opening first match it is going to be in this company for Shotzi. She's going to get a one-on-one with SmackDown Women's Champion herself, Shayna Baszler. It is a big-time field here tonight on SmackDown. There is plenty on the way for you. We will hear from Sasha Banks, and we have a big-time main event between Samoa Joe and Keith Lee on its way as well, on top of the announcement from the Savior as to who his number one contender will be. We'll find out at the end of the night. But the howl cry is out from Shotzi right now, who's ready to make her debut here in a WWE ring. And what an opportunity it's going to be as well to step in that ring with Shayna Baszler, a woman, of course, who is still SmackDown Women's Champion despite a controversial victory at WrestleMania, and still has a very large target on her back, shall we say, courtesy of the man herself, Becky Lynch. But in order to succeed here tonight, on both sides, realistically, Shotzi's going to have to try and use that almost to her advantage to try and capitalize on Shayna's potential distractions, having lost at the WWE draft as well to new Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. And for Shayna, she is going to have to try and turn her attention away from all of that, away from the distractions, away from tapping out on the entrance ramp at WrestleMania to Becky Lynch, to the loss to Rhea Ripley, and the fact that she has what almost seems to be an ever-growing target on her back, not only from Becky Lynch, but now from the likes of Sasha Banks, and of course, SmackDown's biggest acquisition in the draft, you could say, in Tessa Blanchard. It is a massive division here on SmackDown, and it is one that Shayna Baszler has all the eyes and all the focus on her as the champion. There's only one crown around here for the women's division. Shayna Baszler has held it now for a number of months. But for how much longer can she hold on to that crown with all these targets down her back? And is Shotzi Blackheart about to become one of those breathing down her neck? We will find out. But it seems as if she wants to get things underway as soon as possible. Look at the way the Blackheart has just burst out of the gates here after the SmackDown Women's Champion. But immediately Shayna Baszler trying to put a stop to that. Action wasting little time getting underway here in this contest. These two women going straight after one another here. Blackheart wanted to make a big debut, and Shayna Baszler wanted to prove why she is the SmackDown Women's Champion and why she has been so controlling with that title around her waist as well. Big spear there from Baszler, cover here, and here we go into this contest. 2 count on Shotzi Blackheart. I wonder just how many people are watching on for this contest in the SmackDown Women's division. From top to bottom, everyone feels as if they want to get their name out there, want to get their name in the face of Shayna Baszler. And after that gold, heading into WrestleMania is the likes of Asuka, Nikki Cross, and Becky Lynch going after Baszler. Now you look at it when it's Banks and Blanchard and Lynch still there. And who knows who else might try and add themselves into the fray. Shotzi Blackheart, so far, doing the right things to try and ensure that she will be involved in all of that. Look at Blackheart go with the early goings here. Credit where it's due to her. She is going straight after the champion with no fear whatsoever. But there, just a demonstration almost of the power advantage, of the strength that is naturally within Shayna Baszler, taking all that quick offense and getting the shoulder up as soon as she could there at the count of 1. Sent into the turnbuckle now. Blackheart took a little time to decide what she was going to do next, and that may have cost her, because look at this now, Baszler coming back. Open-handed palm strikes, body blow, strike to the face, and another spear. Fantastic combination from the SmackDown Women's Champion. Every time she steps in that ring, you fear for their opponent because you just never know what she might be able to do, but credit where it's due again. Blackheart showing what she can produce when the opportunity presents itself to her. Blackheart looking to maybe take another risk in this contest. She's burning Baszler up against the ropes. Incoming from Blackheart. Oh, up, over, and out to the floor. Nasty crash landing there for Shotzi Blackheart. But that's not Blackheart. That's Becky Lynch. Lynch going after the champion again. Baszler evades, and she's running for the high heavens. Once again, Baszler trying to step out of harm's way. Up to the entrance ramp, but look at what Lynch got in her hands. Baszler left it at ringside, and Lynch has it in her hands. The SmackDown Women's Championship in the hands of perhaps the woman who should be the rightful holder. And Lynch believes it to be the case. Lynch is ready to make sure that she is SmackDown Women's Champion once again. She's ready. She wants the match. Lynch wants Baszler one more time. She wants the SmackDown Women's Championship. And it feels as if Shayna Baszler has nowhere else to run to. Is it destiny between the man and the Queen of Spades to bring this to an end? Well, folks, earlier today we had the opportunity to catch up with Sasha Banks and ask her about her move to the Dangerous Alliance and Paul Heyman. When asked this question, Banks replied that it was simply about the best aligning with the best, adding that her and Paul Heyman truly were a dangerous combination that were designed to rule women's wrestling for years to come. It didn't matter who it was, be it Shayna Baszler, Becky Lynch, or even the newly debuting Tessa Blanchard. There was no one around to stop Sasha Banks from ruling women's wrestling, and if anyone wanted to find out if that was the case, they could step in the ring with her and learn why it was boss time. Interestingly enough though, Banks would be confronted after this, not by any of the people that she had named, but by a new-looking, new attitude, Liv Morgan. Though nothing was said between the two women, but with Liv this willing to get in the face of Sasha Banks, you have to assume that Liv believes she deserved to be on that list, and she has no problem going toe-to-toe with the boss. Certainly an interesting altercation there earlier on this evening between Liv Morgan and Sasha Banks, and very interesting for Liv to have this new attitude, this new look to her, especially of course with everything that has gone on. No longer with Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan by her side, Liv has to go it alone. And we look forward to seeing what Liv can break out. But she picked one tough cookie to go after in Sasha Banks. She's on the top of her game right now as the boss. Beating Trish Stratus at WrestleMania, aligning herself with Paul Heyman. And now, the sky seems to be the limit for Sasha Banks. And it seems if Liv Morgan wants to try and bring that crashing down to the ground. We'll see how that turns out, I suppose. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, tag team action for you here on SmackDown. It rolls on the blue brand. It's the Street Profits against the, once again, newly debuting this time team of Fabian Aichner and Marcel Barthel, or as they have been known around the world, Imperium. A familiar theme, that is for certain, and a familiar look. If this reminds you all of Walter on Monday Night Raw, that is because these men have traveled the world with the Ring General. But when they were signed to the WWE, SmackDown acquiesced to them. They signed the contract, and Walter is separated from his Imperium members. But I have heard that, relations are still fantastic on either side. They have basically, Walter said to them, go out there and just do the best that you can. Go out there and show what pro wrestling is all about. And remember, the mat is sacred. And that will be the objective of these two men to bring to the blue brand. You can look at it as Imperium almost together and apart at the same time. Walter sending the message of Imperium on Monday Night Raw. Barthel and Aichner doing that on the blue brand. We've never seen these guys in action before. What a finely tuned tag team they are. Absolutely just dialed in, focused. They don't let anything get past them. Everything they do in that ring is with a purpose. Everything they do in that ring is almost unified, like one brain, synchronized together. You know, we've got a lot of flashy tag teams. The Street Profits for one, Perfect, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions for another. These are just ring-focused athletes. The best team in recent memory to describe them as close to would be that of the Revival. They are very much like that with their ring IQ, their ring savvy. And it is going to be a tall order for the Street Profits, of course, also making their SmackDown debut, having come over in the WWE draft as well. Very interesting times for SmackDown's tag team division, of course, and the team at the top of it in Perfect. So the bell rings and we are underway here. It is Eichner getting things underway here against Montez Ford. So let's see what will happen here between these two teams, who of course will be looking for the same objective, the opportunity to be the first to go after SmackDown Tag Team Champions of EC3 and MJF. It is going to be a very tall order, I think, for these, for whomever of these two teams would it be, let's say, to be, whoever became number one contender. I think it would be a tall order for the new Tag Team Champions. They won it at quite controversial fashion at WrestleMania. So the question, of course, would be, could they hold on to those titles in the same way that Eichner is quite easily holding up Montez Ford in the air here before bringing him down after that delayed vertical suplex? I think a beauty there from Eichner into the cover. Early 2 count in this one. Didn't even hook the leg. A little bit of disrespect being shown there by the Italian. In the corner now, he sends Ford, and Barthel who gets the tag in here, and again this systematic, methodical offense that they look for. And the other evasion there though by Montez Ford. Big boot in the face of Marcel Barthel, and here goes Montez Ford now, unloading away. Nice flapjack, taking Barthel down. And now the objective for the Street Profits will be trying to get the momentum rolling, get the offense dialed in here. Look out, nice body slam there. Dawkins lining up Ford, back suplex into a moonsault. Beautiful combination there from the very well coordinated tag team that is the Street Profits. Boots into the face there of Barthel by Angelo Dawkins, now the legal man in this one. Oh, what a right hand! Cocked that one back and smacked him in the face with it. Has he done enough to put away Barthel? Not to be the case. Both teams, of course, will want to start their SmackDown 10 years off with a victory. Only one can get it. And of course the question will be, who will that be? Right now, to be fair, since Barthel came in, it has become a little bit more split down the middle. Dawkins doing a number here on the German. Oh, beautiful uppercut though. Credit where it's due from Barthel. He ripped that one back there and lined it up and just smashed it into the face of Angelo Dawkins. Tag mates here. Eichner, the legal man again. Look out, incoming! Like a dart, he soared through there. Dawkins kicks out, and he would have had to have kicked out, because the ring IQ again of Imperium shining through. Barthel sending Montez Ford to the floor there, and even though Dawkins did kick out, it is effectively a 2-on-1 handicap match in this moment. Big discus clothesline on Dawkins. Is it all she wrote? Dawkins shoulders are down, up on the count of 2 again, and Imperium showcasing what they're all about in this debut thus far. Eichner now. Oh, counter there by Angelo Dawkins. Is there an opportunity here for the Street Profits? Ford back up on the apron on the other side of the ring. Nice splash there in the corner onto Montez Ford. Onto Eichner. Ford now the legal man here. In the corner goes Eichner again, and it's another splash, this time by Montez Ford, who connects with a standing shooting star press after it. Fantastic athleticism, and Ford isn't done with this combination yet. Splashes down from the top rope, hooks the leg. Is Eichner done for here? Kick out of 2. Dawkins went across the ring there to cover off Marcel Barthel, but Barthel didn't even think about getting in the ring there, just left it almost. 2. Eichner to get the kick out there as if he just had that connection in him that just knew that Eichner was going to be kicking out. Eichner back up to his feet. Look at this. Look at that from Eichner. Would not expect it from a man of this stature, but that is exactly what he could connect with within this ring. Tag is made again. Baszler, the legal man, once again here in this contest. Look out, double back body drop. Big height from Montez Ford. Not in the way you would have wanted. Oh, nice counter there by Montez Ford though. I don't even think Baszler saw that one coming. Thinking on the fly there from Montez Ford as he lights up that chest of Baszler with a big chop there. And again, Ford sends Baszler in the corner. What is Montez Ford going to do here? Look out! Slice bread in the corner! Hooks the legs! Shoulders down! Has Ford done it? No! So close, but not close enough. Kick out at 2. But Ford's feeling it! Ford is feeling it! Montez Ford is on the top row! Frog splash! The knees are up in time for Baszler. Scouted it! Saw it coming! Roll up, small package now from Baszler, but down, the shoulders are down, and Imperium take the victory. Nothing flashy, just effective. Baszler saw the opening on a wounded Ford and took the advantage of it. It wasn't a perfect debut, but it is victory for Imperium here on SmackDown. Wait a minute, is that the theme of... Oh, good Lord, it is. Grayson Waller. What the hell is Waller doing out here now? Are you kidding me? He made them fight for nothing because apparently Waller has snuck his way into Backlash. Are you kidding me? Grayson Waller is going to fight for the SmackDown Tag Team titles at Backlash. He isn't even got a partner. Well, apparently he has one lined up, and we're going to find out who that is on the evening. Grayson Waller will challenge Perfect for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Well, last week we saw quite the chaotic episode of SmackDown, the focal point being that between Jon Moxley and Tommaso Ciampa. Be it from the top of the show to the end of the show, they seemed to be at each other's throats. Moxley and Ciampa brawled everywhere there was to brawl, including on the ramp, with a steel chair shot busting open Death Rider. At the end of it, Moxley said that Ciampa could run, but in the end, there would be blood that Ciampa would taste, and it would be his own. Earlier today, Damian Priest took the opportunity to call out Tommaso Ciampa, requesting a match with the Blackheart for next week on SmackDown. Priest said that there was a mutual respect between him and Jon Moxley, and that they have each other's backs. And since Moxley wants Ciampa to taste his own blood, Damian Priest has no problem being the man to do it. A lot of action there, and some big words from Damian Priest as well. Priest wants to step into the ring with Tommaso Ciampa. That would be a big fight between those two, no doubt about it. You know that would be very personal. But speaking of big fights, ladies and gentlemen, get the meat out, because we've got a horse fight. It is main event time on SmackDown. It is time to determine who is the number one contender to the Intercontinental Championship. Who will face the Golden Savior Kota Ibushi at Backlash? Keith Lee or Samoa Joe? Whoever it's gonna be, you gotta worry for Ibushi himself. Keith Lee had said before WrestleMania that he was keeping his eyes very closely on the Intercontinental title, and when he returned from the minor injury that he sustained at King of the Ring, he was gunning for that belt, whoever the champion was. Ibushi retained at WrestleMania. Keith Lee said it was time. He was ready. He wanted to be Intercontinental Champion, but Samoa Joe returned last week and said, "Who made you General Manager? If you want to fight, if you want to be Intercontinental Champion, well, guess what? So do I. So let's sort that problem out." And for the first time since he stepped into Hell in a Cell with the Fiend, Samoa Joe is back to business. And you hear the chant of Joe raining out here. This man is ready to fight. This is a pay-per-view caliber match we are getting right here tonight. SmackDown pulling out all the stops on the road to Backlash. And remember, we've still got to find out who the number one contender to the WWE Championship is going to be. But before we get to that point, we've got this incredible matchup on our way. Whoever is victorious, it is going to be an uphill struggle for Kota Ibushi. I know he is a fantastic athlete. I know he's beaten some of the best. But these two men are scary athletes. And Ibushi can't rely on his pound-for-pound strength that he possesses against guys like this, because they'll just throw him away. It is main event time here on SmackDown. It is time to find out who the number one contender to the Intercontinental title is. And Keith Lee starts with the first shot of Samoa Joe there. Joe comes back with a quick strike of his own. Here goes Joe, lighting him up here. Good strikes and chops and kicking away at the leg of Keith Lee there, taking the big man off his feet. It's the first time Lee's been in ring since the King of the Ring finals. We went all the way to the finals as the favorite in that tournament before losing to Pete Dunne in the finals. And of course, as I said, for Samoa Joe, this is the first time since he was decimated inside the Hell in a Cell by the Fiend a number of months ago. Look out, Keith Lee! Does everything. Does absolutely everything there is to do and keeps the fight raging here on Samoa Joe. The Hurricanrana rocked Joe, and the strikes after it just took the Samoan off his feet there. Keith Lee has him up, fireman's carry. Oh, sucked him with a discus punch. Beautifully done there by Lee. Early cover in this contest. You just knew. You just knew that it was only going to be something along the lines of a 1 count, and that's exactly what it was. But Keith Lee stays on the offense here. Lee now in the turnbuckle. He sends Samoa Joe. Oh, Joe though with a vicious elbow. Sending him away, and a big super kick takes Keith Lee down. Rocked him with that one. You've got to think these are some heavy hitters in their own right, but imagine how much heavier they've got to hit on one another. Imagine how much more effort and force they've got to put behind their shots to affect the other. Lee backsteps his way out of whatever Samoa Joe is looking for. There, strikes in the back, nicely done. Snapmare takeover. Neck crack follows up after it. And Lee is thinking top rope here. Lee is thinking about using all of that weight and splashing down, but the knees were up for the second time here tonight. This time, though, by Samoa Joe. Joe will capitalize. Emerald Explosion. Hook of the leg. Almost dead center of the ring, and Keith Lee kicks out at 1. Oh! What a brutal kick there by Samoa Joe in the gut. Been so much strikes in this contest so far, but Joe showcasing the strength. Death Valley driver. Down went Keith Lee, and is it number one contender Samoa Joe? No. But what power these guys are possessing in the ring thus far. What power they're showcasing on one another thus far. Nice counter there by Keith Lee, and a big shoulder charge there takes him down. Lee feeling it in the early goings of this contest, has to be said, or however long we are in this contest. Lee went full steam ahead. Joe caught him with ease and delivers a backbreaker. That was incredible from Samoa Joe. He can't capitalize. Lee stood there. Lee almost planted his weight into the mat and made it impossible for Joe to go anywhere. Now it's Keith Lee's turn to hoist up Joe and slam him into that mat for a count of, once again, 1. Oh, what a knee from Joe. You hear the thud of that then colliding into the head of Keith Lee. Look at this. Joe blitzing away. Down goes Keith Lee, and Samoa Joe, he's feeling the momentum. He's feeling the opportunity presenting itself to him to become number one contender here. He should have stayed on Keith Lee there, though. Shouldn't have gone to the top rope. Shouldn't have tried to soak in the moment. Should have just stayed focused. Oh, and a super kick blasting Lee down again. Oh, Joe's got that look in his eyes. Joe's got that look in his eyes. He wants to try and put Keith Lee to sleep. He's looking for the Kikina clutch. Lee now comes up with a big elbow and a shoulder charge, taking him back down. And now Lee has the look to finish off Joe. Are you kidding me? Ground zero. 1, 2. No, Joe kicks out at 2. Keith Lee's expression was almost like, how did that happen? But I think the better question to ask is, why aren't we surprised that he kicked out at 2? This is Samoa Joe we're talking about here. Look at those strikes from Joe there. He just took one of Keith Lee's biggest hits, gets right back up to his feet and starts socking him some more. Swept the leg away there. And Joe, all of a sudden, turns things around and is back on the offensive here on Keith Lee. But Lee does the same there. Big right hand, kicking the gut, though, counter by Joe. Just back and forth every step of the way. That's a horse German suplex. Absolutely delivered with every element of that one. Lee now sent over the top rope. Big right hand from Joe, knocks Lee to the floor, and Samoa Joe now has a plan outside of the ring. What is the Samoan submission machine thinking out on the floor? This could be big. Oh, it is going to be big. It is going to be big. Look at this. No way! A devastating power bomb on the barricade on the outside. Are you kidding me? Lee just hops up to his feet like it's nothing, but Joe is there, ready to meet him, ready to stop him. Joe, go behind, half and half, suplex the big man, taken down again. And that look is in Joe's eyes again that he wants to put it away. Has he got it this time? Kikina clutch attempt 2 is denied again by Keith Lee. Lee doing everything in his power to ensure that he doesn't end up in that hold. Oh my God. Keith Lee. Oh my God. Belly to belly suplex to the floor. And Lee isn't done there. Deadlift power bomb on the padding on the outside. And Lee has something else up his sleeve here. Keith Lee kicking the announce table apart. Lee has a plan for Samoa Joe, and unless Joe can do something to stop it, it might bring about the end of this contest and the end of Samoa Joe's hopes of being Intercontinental Champion. If Joe wants to stop it, he's going to have to do it now. Lee is putting him up on the table here. I'm surprised the table can support him, but it definitely won't support this. Big bang catastrophe through the table. Straight through the table to the floor. In the ring we go. The fight in Samoa Joe has faded. A second big bang catastrophe connects. Keith Lee hooks the leg. Keith Lee is going to Backlash. What a fight. What a match. What a main event. The horses came out to fight, but it is Keith Lee who has beaten Samoa Joe. At Backlash, it will be limitless versus the Golden Savior for the Intercontinental Championship. What a fight that is going to be, and what a win this was for Keith Lee. Backlash getting more and more stacked, no doubt about it, but ladies and gentlemen, plenty to look forward to next week. 3 matches on the way for you. You can see them right there. Shotzi Blackheart and Liv Morgan. Dolph Ziggler versus the Intercontinental Champion Kota Ibushi. And our main event next week, Tommaso Ciampa and Damian Priest. It is on. But right now, hold your hands to the sky, because the Savior has arrived. The prophecy became reality at WrestleMania. Ricochet is WWE Champion. He said he would cleanse WrestleMania and SmackDown with it. And on night one of WrestleMania, he did just that. Pinning both men in an elimination triple threat. Ricochet did what seemed impossible for him at one point. The Royal Rumble winner, WWE Champion. And as always, the reaction for the Savior as mixed as ever. There are those who support him every step of the way, but there are those who don't believe in his cause, who don't believe in what he says. But the reality is around his waist. Whatever he says, what he does in that ring is almost unmatched. Because Ricochet is WWE Champion. But the Savior tonight is going to find out who he faces at Backlash for the WWE Championship. But before that, it's time for a verbal victory lap. From the man who says he has cleansed SmackDown, but his job is not done. He wants to make SmackDown even better in his own vision. He wants it to be the case that when you think of SmackDown, you don't think of The Rock or Batista. You think of Ricochet. You think of the man who will lead SmackDown into a bigger and better generation to come. He wants the verbiage of SmackDown and the namesake of the brand to be associated with him now. He almost wants SmackDown to look up to the Savior and all the followers that he claims that he has around the world, willing him on. That is his vision. But now comes a question. And the answer is just moments away. Who will face Ricochet at Backlash? When the coin drops, it only means one man. The Rainmaker. The face, the ace of SmackDown. The man at the very top of his game, and perhaps at the top of wrestling as we know it today. Kazuchika Okada is the #1 contender to the WWE Championship, the title that he has held twice before. He toppled the attempted era of the Switchblade at WrestleMania. He proved that the Rainmaker still stands tall in the WWE, and it means a Backlash. It is Savior and Rainmaker for the WWE title. And Kazuchika Okada believes that the Rainmaker will wash away all of the cleansing that the Savior has done. Okada and Ricochet at Backlash. WWE title will be on the line. What a bout this is going to be between these two men. Bring it on.